We're gonna do class, so let's get started.
Okay.
I've got a fun plan, I think, so we'll see what happens. Ooh, my doors are open here. All right, we're gonna jump right in, lying down flat on your mat. Good. Arms on by your side. You're usually that way.
Oh, should I switch?
No, you're fine.
You want me to switch?
No. Good. Feet flat on your mat. We're gonna zoom right through some of these warm-ups. So, inhale and fill your belly up with air, not your chest. That's it. And then exhale, take 2 more breaths just like this, settling into the space, feeling your whole back melt into the mat. Good. One more. Find your neutral pelvis. So your tailbone is anchoring down. There's a slight curve underneath your low back. You should have enough space for a large blueberry there. Then you feel your rib cage. On your next inhale, imprint your low back on the mat. And then exhale, come back to neutral pelvis. So you imprint and tuck your abdominals and your pubic bone towards your nose. And then exhale, roll the pelvis forward. Good. Keep going like this. So if you were sitting up tall and your pelvis was a bowl of water, you'd be tilting the pelvis forward and back, spilling the water in towards you, and then spilling the water out in front of you, backwards and forwards. That's it. A couple more times. 2 more. Good. 1 more. Good. Come back to neutral. Hands come up in the air, straight to the ceiling. Bend your knees into your chest. Float your arms back to the ears. Exhale, push them forward. Good. Just warming that up. Inhale the arms back. Exhale, push forward. Keep going just like this. Bianca did a really nice job there just now of pressing her knees away from her face and chest so that her knees are right above her hip points, so that she's in a true tabletop position. They're not bending in over her abdominals. Now on your next inhale and exhale, curl forward. Stay here. Pilates stance your feet. Press your legs out to a high 45. Exhale, bend your knees back in for 10. Inhale the legs out, exhale them in for 9. And send them long and in for 8. So you're in Pilates stance the whole time. Curling up. If it's too much to curl up, you lower your head, neck, and shoulders down. Going deeper into your core to try to relax those hip flexors. Good. And 2 more times. Inhale out and draw them in. Final one. Inhale out and draw them in. Lower your head, neck, and shoulders down. Take a breath. I told Bianca I was going to do footwork on the mat. She didn't like me, but she's doing it anyway, and she looks fantastic. And you all are as well at home. So that was our Pilates stance toes, as if we were on the reformer. Now we're gonna go for arches, so our legs zip together. Let's do our 5 breaths first. So tabletop the legs, inhale, press the arms down on the exhale for 5. Inhale the arms back, exhale forward for 4. Your head is down for all of these. 3. And 2, exhale, draw the arms forward. 1 more time, arms go back, they come forward, you curl up. Point your toes, squeeze your legs together, press your legs out long, keep your toes pointed, keep your knees together, bend your knees back in for 10. Inhale them away, exhale them in for 9. They're all zipped together, everything's touching, and you're squeezing those inner thighs as the legs go out, and as they come back in, you're halfway there, you have 4. Inhale out and exhale in. 3. If it helps to send your legs on a higher diagonal, almost 90 degrees, to let those hip flexors relax, that's what I want you to do. Last one, bend your knees in, lower your head down, take a breath. Good. So that was our arches, toes pointed. Now we're gonna go for heels on. So 1 more time, same thing, arms up to the ceiling, head stays down, feet are in true tabletop. You have 5, arms back. Exhale, press the arms forward. 4. Inhale, exhale, forward. 3, inhale, wrap the abdominals. That's it. So really start to focus on getting in touch with that TA here. It's the deepest layer of your abdominals, and they want to hug together in the midline. 1 more time, press the arms forward, curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. Flex your heels, keep everything squeezed together. Send your heels out first, bend your knees back in for 10. Inhale, the heels go out, exhale in for 9. Inhale in for 8. And 7. Beautiful. 6. Keep squeezing those big toe knuckles together. Everything squeezes in the middle. You have 3. And 2. Sending energy at the heels. Last 1. Out and in. Lower your head, neck, and shoulders down. Take a breath. Good. We have 1 more thing here. So let's do a little bit of a tendon stretch. So take a nice big deep breath. Arms start straight up to the ceiling. On your exhale, curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. You're in tabletop with the legs. Pilates, stand to your feet, heels together, toes apart. Send your legs out long, point your toes, flex your toes, point your toes, flex your toes. Yeah, so just tendon stretch here as if your legs were long on the reformer and you're just pointing and flexing those toes, stretching through the back of the shin for 3 and 2 and 1. Point the toes, bend the knees in, lower the head down, take a breath. Beautiful, we go right into our 100. Curl your head, neck, and shoulders up, send your arms long by your hips. Rock your hips side to side if those hips are gripping. Send the arms long. Keep the legs at tabletop. Start to pump your arms up and down. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, and exhale, good. 3 more breaths right here, just like this. And exhale, actually just 1 more. And exhale, now send your right leg long, keep pumping your arms. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 more here. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch legs for 2 breaths. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3. On the last breath, both legs go long. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stop pumping. Bend your knees. Lower your head down. Take a breath. Good. Oh my gosh, I'm wearing my glasses. I didn't even realize. I'm wearing my glasses. It's Sunday. Okay.
I tried computer classes once. That was the 90s. Never mind.
Never mind. Inside joke. I'm an actress, if you didn't know. And last week we recorded a self-tape for a glasses commercial. I did not book it, so.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's fine. Moving on.
It's okay.
We move on and we keep doing Pilates.
It's
so
okay.
it's
Tonight
totally
I'm
fine.
filming an audition with my dog. We'll see how that goes.
It's gonna go great. Your dog's definitely gonna book it. You? I don't know.
Would
Kidding.
you rather be like, we'll
Kidding.
take Molly?
We're gonna.
but not
Molly
you.
got the part. Bianca, we're sorry.
No.
No, that wouldn't happen. Send your legs long on the mat. We set up for our roll up. Legs go long. Zip the legs together. Flex the feet. Arms straight up to the ceiling. Tuck your chin to your chest. Peel up nice and slow with control. Dive forward. Reach for those toes. Find a big C shape in your back. Inhale here. Exhale. Melt your spine all the way down to the mat, bone by bone. Keep squeezing your legs. Keep flexing your heels. Press your heels into the mat. Inhale, exhale, peel up. It should be slow and controlled. I'm not going to count for you today. I'm going to let you do your own flow. But remember, Joe Pilates called it contrology, not Pilates. That's what we call it. So contrology is the art of control. So you're finding the most amount of control you can use to raise your body up on the mat, off the mat, reach it forward. And then the same thing down, the most amount of control you can use to lower the spine all the way down, bone by bone. Good. You have 2 more. Inhale, peel up with control, using your abs. That's where the control comes from. Your powerhouse is your core. So if you think about that, we call the core the powerhouse. All of the power comes from there. One more time. Peel up from the abs, not momentum. Reach forward, roll down from the abs. Try not to fall out of it here. Beautiful. Good. Roll up one more time. Good. And then set up for rolling like a ball, because I forgot single leg circles. So we'll go back to that. Just mixing up the order today for no good reason. It's fine. We can do that. We can do whatever we want. Setting up rolling like a ball.
You just decided to skip it.
No, I literally forgot it until I was telling you. I was like, rolling
Got
like
it.
a ball. And then I was like,
Okay.
that's not right.
Got it.
Okay, totally fine. Lower your heels down. Let's set up properly, everyone at home. Guys, we're a little nutty here today. It's okay. Heels together, toes apart, they're on the mat. Hands on your shins, all 10 fingers facing each other. Now first, before you lift your feet up off the mat, round your spine out. Find a nice big C shape. Then lift your heels up off the mat once you're already sitting behind your sits bones. On an inhale, roll back just to the tips of your shoulder blades. On the exhale, roll back up, hover at the top, behind your sits bones. Inhale, rock back, exhale, come up. That's it, 3 more times. Inhale, back, exhale, up. 2 more, you go down. You come up, and then just 1 more, all the way down the tips of the shoulder blades. Use your abs a lot to bring you right back up. Hold here. Good. Bring your elbows to the tops of your knees. This is an advancement, so if you want to try this at home, you can. Otherwise, stay where you are. We're going to do 5 more. Elbows attached to the knees, knees attached to the elbows. Elbows press into the knees, knees press into the elbows. Your heels are gonna try to touch your butt the whole time. Inhale, rock back to the tips of your shoulder blades. Exhale, press into your knees to come up. Good, that's it, 4 more. Inhale, back. Exhale, press into your knees to come up. Beautiful, 3 more, down and up. That's so good, Bianca. Inhale, back, exhale, up. Keep squeezing those heels to your butt. You have 1 more. Inhale, back, exhale, up and hold. Lower your feet down, scoot your butt back. Let's roll down to come down. Flex your feet, send your arms long, roll down with control. Slowly with control, all the way down to the mat. No collapsing or dropping at the end. Good. Arms come flat into your mat. It's a pillow. Bend your right knee into your chest. Send your right leg up to the ceiling. Bring your hands behind your right thigh. Drop your right hip bone down into the mat, so let it fall. And then reach your heel up to the ceiling and point your toe. And reach your heel up, flex your foot, and point your toe. Good. So right here, we're just kind of limbering up the back of this right leg, thinking about opening the back of the leg, lengthening, and feeling a stretch through that hamstring and through that calf. 2 more times. 1 more time. Hands come onto the mat beside you. Now we do our single leg circle. Cross your leg across the body, down, around, and up. You're gonna make a half circle and then lift it straight back up. So you're drawing, if you're working with your right leg, a backwards capital D shape. And you're really focusing on that inner thigh. How far can your inner thigh get across your body without letting your right hip peel up off the mat? So focusing on stability in the hips and using the inner thigh. Good. Reverse direction. Straight down. Hug the midline across and up. Inhale. Exhale. Hug and lift. Good. 3 more times. And 2. Nice stability, Bianca. And 1. Bend your knee. Give it a squeeze. Hug it in. Feel a stretch across the front of the hip flexor. And then send that right leg long. We go to the left side. Left leg comes in. Both hands come behind the left knee. Left leg goes long. Or sorry, left hamstring. Calf.
Leg.
Not your knee though. You could actually injure your knee if we were hanging on to it there. So behind your thigh, drop your left hip into the mat, find it anchored, reach your left heel up to the ceiling, point and flex and point and flex. So the allergies are rampant in New York right now. I'm gonna blame all of my craziness on Sudafed.
Yeah.
Because that's what's fueling the days right now. Good, 3 more, and 2. And 1. Arms long by your sides and point your toe, turn your leg out slightly, go across to the right side, down and around, straight back up. Good. Inhale across, down, around, and up. Exhale as you lift. Your powerhouse is using that exhale to draw the leg back in towards you. 3 more here. And 2. That's it. 1 more. And then we reverse. You go straight down, hug across and up. Inhale down, across and up. Beautiful. Really focusing on stabilizing those hips. You have 3 and 2. So nice. 1 more. Bend your knee in. Give it a squeeze. Good. Place your hands behind your thighs. Rock up to a seated position for me. And then come on to all 4s. I told you we're going to do some planks and push-ups here. So starting with our first plank of the day, taking a little reprieve before we go into our ab series. So let's start with your hands right underneath your shoulders, knees right underneath your hips. Send one leg along behind you. Send the other leg along behind you. Come into Pilates stance with your feet in a plank position. And let's just hold here for 5 breaths. Inhale, big breaths. Exhale, wrap the abdominals. Think about lifting the belly up away from the floor. Your pelvis is just slightly tucked. You're sending energy out the crown of your head and your heels. Bianca, after your 5th breath, you're gonna lower one knee down, then the other knee down, and take a sit in child's pose. Your neck is in line with your spine, folks, so it's not hanging down or lifting up in any of our planks and push-ups today. So I really want you to focus on that. Good, take 2 more breaths here. Roll all the way up to sit. Come on your back, we set up for our ab series. Just a little easy plank to warm it up. No big deal. You're like, you're not doing it. Hug your knees into your chest.
I think you call the plank a reprieve.
It's a reprieve from all the other things. Well, it was a break. It was a, I don't know.
It was a break.
It was a break, right? Curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. Put both hands on your right knee. Take Take your outside hand, drop it down to your right ankle. Alternatively, if you've been doing this for a little while, bring your hands along by your sides. Good, send one leg long and switch, and switch, and switch. If your hands are on your knees, you're switching the hands and the legs at the same time. The leg that's coming in towards you is where the hand is. Good, you have 5 and 5, 4 and 4, 3 and 2, and 1, and 1. Bend your knees in, lower your head down. Take one breath, inhale. Exhale, curl the head, neck, and shoulders up. We go right into our double leg stretch. Legs go long to a high 45. Arms go back by your ears. Hug your knees in, circle your arms, grab the knees. Inhale everything away from each other. Exhale, hug everything in towards each other. Good, keep going. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, everything comes in towards the middle of the body. That exhale, the powerhouse is drawing everything towards the center. And contract. Good, 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. One more time, reach and come in. Lower your head, neck, and shoulders down. Take a breath, 1 breath. Inhale. Exhale, curl right back up. We're going for our scissor. Both legs go straight up to the ceiling. Either both hands behind your thigh, calf, or ankle, or both hands along by your side, just like we did for our single leg stretch. That would be a little bit of a challenge. Pulse your right leg towards your face twice. Pulse, pulse, switch legs. Pulse, pulse, and switch. Big scissors here. Pulse, pulse, switch. Good. So that bottom leg lowers down and it stays still. And the top leg that's coming towards you is pulsing. Good. And it's coming closer to your face, not your face closer to your leg. You have 2 more. Final 1. Good. Bend your knees in, lower your head, neck, and shoulders down, and take a break. So Bianca started with her hands on her legs. She went to her challenge. She decided, oh, that's enough. And she went back to her hands on her legs. And that's cool. You know what that is? That's listening to your body. That's understanding your limits. That's taking the chance and trying it and then coming back to what you know works. I dig it. I encourage all of you at home to do that. Sometimes you have to say to yourself, today's the day, and do the thing. And if it doesn't work, you go back to doing the other thing, and it's totally fine. No one ever is going to judge you for that. Certainly not me. Amazing. Let's keep going. Lower lift. So both hands come behind the low back if you have any low back issues. Both hands come behind the head if you don't. Send your legs up to the ceiling. Pilates stands your feet. Now before we move, drop your tailbone in the mat. Let it anchor down. Good. So no gripping in those hips. And you should feel a slight pull on the low belly because you have space behind your low back. Inhale the legs halfway down. Engage those low abs to lift them back up. Good. Inhale down. Exhale to lift. That's it. Head, neck, and shoulders are curled up. You're in your Pilates curl. You lift. You have 3 more. Inhale down and exhale. Lift. 2 and lift. 1 more. Think about lengthening those legs out of the hips to lift them back up. Bend your knees. Lower your head. Take 1 breath. Bring your hands behind your head if they're not already there. On your exhale, curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. Send 1 leg long. Twist your torso to the knee that's hugging in, and then switch sides. And switch, and switch. You're here in your crisscross. Elbows are wide. You're thinking armpit to knee, not elbow to knee. Rotating a lot in the rib cage, trying to face the wall parallel to you each time you move. You have 4, and 4, and 3, and 3. Thinking long legs, reaching out of your body like they're not attached. Hug both knees in, lower the head, neck, and shoulders down. Take a breath. Very good. Place your hands behind your thighs, rock up to sit. Come onto all 4s. We're gonna do a little booty blast. Booty blast. Yay! Sung to the tune of Jesus Christ Superstar.
Booty blast.
That's what that
Booty
was.
blast.
That's what that was. Okay. Hands right underneath your shoulders, knees right underneath your hips. Do you have enough space there, Bianca?
I don't know. What are we doing?
We're gonna do like some bird dog stuff, so maybe we should need
Okay.
to turn the mat a little bit, actually.
No, I can do it.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Make sure you have space, ladies and gentlemen, both in front of you and behind you. Okay, so find a nice neutral spine here. So I don't want your spine to be reaching up to the ceiling like a cat, and I don't want it to be hanging down, but I do want there to be a slight curve at the low back. It's neutral, your abs are engaged, so the belly is actually wrapping and pulling up away from the floor. Your right arm goes forward, your left leg goes long. Good, opposite arm, opposite leg. And you're just gonna hold here for a couple breaths. Let's do 5. And every time you exhale, you wrap the abdominals more. And on every inhale, think about reaching longer in the arm and leg. So you're growing, growing, growing the whole time, and wrapping, wrapping, wrapping the whole time. And after 5 breaths, you're counting, you lower your hand and your foot. and we switch to the other side. Left arm first, right leg next, and you have 5 breaths here. Good. So there should also be a lot of work going on to stabilize this, right? So even just being here with those abs contracted properly are going to make us maybe a little bit off balance, and that's why those abs have to work. After your 5th breath, you'll lower your arm, lower your foot. Good. Now take that right leg, send it out long behind you, and it comes up in the air, in line with the hip. Good. And then you're gonna pulse this leg up to the ceiling for 8, 7, 6. Yeah, try to keep that hip facing the ground. So really, yeah, thinking about squeezing the butt, where your thigh and your butt meet, it squeezes. That hip stays narrow to the ground. If you had big head lengths on it, they wouldn't shine out to the side. Now lift that leg up, stop at the top, and then start circling the leg. You draw like a baseball-sized circle behind you. The hip stays still. Press up into your serratus. So I want you to feel your shoulder blades behind you separate as you actively press into the floor. Pull your belly in, Bianca. Reverse directions of that circle. I know. Pull your belly in a little bit more so you flatten out the back a little bit more. There you go. 3, 2, 1. Lower that leg down. Breathe. That was brutal. Good. So as we get more and more into this position and we're like starting to fatigue, the tendency is to want to let the shoulders hang and the belly hang to compensate for everything that's going on. I want to encourage you to press up into the floor so that the shoulder blades behind you broaden, and then keep the belly wrapped so that the back stays nice and straight. Send that left leg along behind you, in line with the hip. You pulse it up and up. 6, 5, good. 4, 3, she just pressed up into her arms more. It was beautiful. Last 1, and then start your circle. So you should feel this in the booty, or the butt, and the abs, and maybe even the shoulders. It's a full body workout. Reverse your circle. That's what Pilates is all about. Good. 5, 4, keep that hip up in line with the other hip. Last 2 and 1. Lower the knee down, sit back into child's pose, take a breath. We're not quite done with our booty blast yet, but you need a rest. Because we don't want to just work muscles that are already tight. We need to give them a chance to relax so that they can re-engage again and be like functional. Good. And then when you're ready, come back into all fours. And if this is hard on your wrists, you can come onto your forearms instead. That's an option. Take your right leg and keep that bent knee, but send the heel up to the ceiling. Like you're gonna stamp your foot on the ceiling. Good. So that that knee is right in line with that hip. Good adjustment with your hip. Hips are in line with each other. And then you're just gonna try to punch your heel through the ceiling, like you're stamping it up, 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 up. 3 and 2 and 1. Lower it down. Take a breath. We're gonna do that 2 more times. Send that leg up to the ceiling, flex that foot, and pulse it up. Why are we doing a booty blast, Jenny? Well, because my email this week was all about wanting to feel sexy. So who doesn't feel sexy knowing their butt is gonna be cute on the beach? 2 and 1. Lower your knee down, take a breath. Send that leg right back up in the air. Wrap those abdominals, press into the floor, and pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower that leg down, take a breath. We go to the other side. So alignment is key here, guys. If you're feeling you're coming into your shoulders, please come down onto your forearms. It's gonna be much more beneficial for everything. Send the left leg up to the ceiling with that foot stamp, knee is bent, it's 90 degrees, and you pulse for 8. It's not just about being sexy. We wanna be strong too, but who doesn't wanna look good? 2 and 1. Lower your knee down, take a breath, inhale. Exhale, send that leg right back up to the ceiling. You have 8 and 7. Squeezing the hamstring to lift the leg. And 3 and 2 and 1. Lower the knee down. Take 1 more breath. Wrap the abdominals on your exhale as you send that leg back up to the ceiling. And you have 8 and 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the knee down. Sit back in child's pose. Good. And breathe. All right, we're gonna come back to our booty blast because that was a lot. When you're ready, roll up to sit. Good, and then sit tall on your butt with your feet facing the front. And we're gonna set for spine stretch forward. So your feet are mat distance apart. You're sitting up nice and tall and your arms are long in front of your shoulders. Think that you're sitting against a wall behind you. And I first want you to grow up on the wall, so sit taller. Then peel your head, neck, and shoulders to your shoulder blades off the wall and reach forward. Good, and then rebuild your spine up the imaginary wall behind you, sitting super, super tall, as tall as you were before you went. Grow tall. Press into an imaginary surface as you go forward so those arms are engaged. You just come off the wall to your shoulder blades and then you rebuild the spine back up 2 more times. You should feel a scoop in your abs up and over your ribs as you dive forward. Come back up to sit nice and tall. 1 more time, you scoop the abs, you reach. And then you rebuild the spine up bone by bone. Open the arms about 4 inches so that they're in your periphery. Twist your torso to one side. Dive forward, saw off your pinky toe with your pinky finger. Flip the back palm up to the ceiling. Look at it. Rebuild the spine facing that side. Twist to the other side. Dive forward, saw off the toe with the pinky. Flip the back palm. Look at it. Come up facing that side. And then we speed it up. You twist and dive and rebuild and twist and dive and rebuild and twist, dive and lift. Every time, focus on the lift. I want you to feel taller every time you turn. Good, now watch your feet. I don't want your feet to be doing any mamboing. I want them to be flat against an imaginary wall in front of you. One never leads in front of the other. So that means you also have to think about the control in your hips. Good, 1 more time on each side, Bianca. Inhale to twist and dive, and exhale to lift. Inhale to twist and dive, exhale to lift. Zip your legs together, flex your feet, arms right in front of you. Roll down to the mat, bone by bone. You got space. Taking your time with control. And then we turn on over to our belly for some swan. Good. Flip on over. And you're going to stack one hand on top of the other and put your forehead on top of your hands. Internally rotate your feet. Relax your booty. Pull your belly button in towards your spine. And then use your back muscles to float your arms and your head up off the mat. So it's your back working. Good. And then lengthen and lower your head all the way down. Beautiful, Bianca. Imagine that you have a sheet of muscle on the back of your body that lifts you up and it controls you back down. And the whole time your abdominals are engaged. 2 more times, lift and lower. 1 more time, you float up and you float down. Good. Prop yourself up on your forearms. You have a nice tall, proud chest. So again, no sinking in those shoulders. You're pressing into the ground to lift the spine. The neck is in line with the spine, so your gaze is maybe slightly down. Good. Zip your legs together behind you. Make 2 fists and bring them together like you're wearing rings and they're touching. Squeeze your knees together. Kick one heel to your butt twice and switch feet twice. Kick, kick, switch. Kick, kick, switch. Your abdominals are working to keep everything as still as possible. And your hamstrings are working to pull that heel to your butt. You have 3 more on each side. This is 3 and 3, 2 and 2, 1 and 1. Lower everything down, take a breath. Good. Let's do some swimming. So we're going to skip double leg kick, but go to some swimming. So scoot back a little bit more, Bianca, so you can find, I think we know that your feet can go under that. But your hands can't quite go under the couch. New York living. Okay, so send your arms along in front of you. It's for some swimming. Scoot back more. Maybe you're struggling with this at home too. I don't know. Okay, good. Lift your feet up. Lift your arms up. Lift your head up. Flutter your hands and your feet like you're swimming. Go for 10. Everything else stays still. The torso is still. Your abs are lifting. 5, 3, 1. Lower everything down. Take a breath. Good. So it's swimming. No big deal. You go as fast as you can, as long as you keep your torso still. So if you're going super fast, but your whole body's rocking, then that's not doing anything. Use those abdominals to keep everything nice and still, and then let those arms and legs flow freely from the center. Yeah. Send your arms long, send your legs long. Lift everything up. Swim for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold everything up. Swim just the hands for 10, 9, 8. Good adjustment with your neck. So your neck is long, your gaze is down. 2, and 1. Stop your hands from just your feet. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold, lower everything down. Take a breath. Good. Bring your hands behind or beside your shoulders, right in front of your shoulders on the mat, flat. Engage your abdominals. Think about length, not height, but come up into a big swan. So press your hands up, lift your chest up, no crunching in the back. I still want you to think the length, 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 length. You're not thinking how high can I get, you're thinking how long can I get. Beautiful, lower the body all the way down. Let's do that 2 more times. You will come up high, but your goal is length, not height. Press into the mat, lift the whole body up, no crunching in the spine so it stays nice and long. And then you lower all the way down, and then you take 1 more. Inhale, press into the mat, lift the chest up, you're long, 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 long. And then lower all the way back down. Beautiful. Come up onto all fours. We're gonna do a plank again. So you're on all fours, hands right under your shoulders. Make sure your elbow sockets are facing each other. So if you tend to be hyperextensive and your elbow sockets go outward, I want you to think a tiny bend in your elbow so that they face each other. We're working those muscles, not hanging out on our joint. Send one leg long, send the other leg long. You're in Pilates stance and you're in your plank. And once you're here, you either stay here or you give me 3 Pilates push-ups. Elbows bend narrow by the chest and you press up and away. They bend and press. 1 more time, down and up, and then hold for 2 breaths in your plank. Inhale and exhale. I know we really want to fall out of that after our push-ups, but take 1 more breath and exhale. Carefully lower your knees down, sit in a child's pose, take a breath. Good. Beautiful. 1 more breath in, and then roll up to sit. Good. Come on to all fours. Let's do some run de jambe here. So going right back to that booty blast. Hands right under shoulders, knees right under hips. Your right leg goes out behind you, and then it lifts up in line with your hip. And then you're gonna bring it out to the side and tap the floor beside your mat, and then lift it back up to where it was right behind you, squeezing the inner thigh like it's gonna pass your body. Inhale, bring the foot out, tap the floor outside of the mat. Exhale to hug the inner thigh back in. So you're making this little half rainbow shape with that leg. You have 5 more, out and in. Still keeping control of those hips, still keeping the abs engaged, still keeping the shoulders pressing up. That's it. I don't know what you're on. I think you have 3 and 2. 1 more run de jambe. Lower that knee down. Take a breath. Good. Now we go to the other side. Left leg goes long. Find that perfect all fours position. Now here, when you come into this position, 1 leg is off, you have to have equal weight between your 3 points that are on the mat. So one of those hands might feel like it doesn't have quite as much weight. I want you to lean into that one more. And then bring the leg out to the side. Tap, lift up, and hug back for 8. Tap, lift up, and hug back 7. Tap, and that's it. Watch your hips, don't move them quite as much. Maybe your range of motion is smaller to keep those hips still. That's it. 3 more, pulling the belly in. 2, that's it. Press more into your left hand. There you go, and then lower that knee down. Sit back into child's pose, take a breath. Good. Okay. Lie down on your side, facing the camera. You're gonna lie on your side with your back along the back edge of the mat. Shoulders and hips are stacked, one on top of the other, and they're in one long straight line. And then the feet come forward towards the front edge of the mat on a kickstand shape. We're gonna do a little abridged side kick series here since we just did so much booty work. So flex that foot on top, flex both feet actually, but think that the top leg is longer than the bottom. And then lift the top leg up as high as you can and lower it down as low as you can. So we're just gonna start with some up and down, big up and down today. And really focusing on stability of those hips. And the stability of the hips comes from the wrapping of the abdominals. So if that hand is on the mat in front of you, which is the preferred position that I like best, Then you're pulling the belly button in away from the hand. Up and down for 3. Up and down for 2. Try to ask those hip flexors to relax. Try to let it come from the abdominals. One more time, up and down. Good. And then do a circle here as big as you can go, keeping your hips stable. So usually we do like a basketball sized circle. Today it can be bigger as long as your hips aren't moving. That's it. Good. And you're really thinking about the back of that circle. That's where we continue our booty work. 2 more in this direction. 1 more here, and then reverse directions. Back and over and up. That's it. Breathing the whole time. It's a natural breath, but it should be nice and deep, diaphragmatic in, and then all the way out, still controlling with the abs. Last 2. Final 1. Good. Lower your leg down, point the toe, and we'll do a little hot potato. Tap the floor twice in front of you. Tap, tap. Lift it up and over, make a big rainbow. Tap it behind you. Tap, tap. Up and over, tap, tap front, up and over, tap, tap back. So keeping stability of those hips as you do this little hot potato. 2 more times, tap, tap front, tap, tap back. Last 1 front, final 1 back. Lower that leg down, lift both legs up, and give me 8 beats. Beat the inner thighs together in the air. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower both legs down, turn onto your back. Let's do a figure 4 stretch. The side that was working crosses over the opposite side, and you hug the knee into the chest, the opposite leg, if that feels good to you. If you get enough of a stretch with that foot down, leave it down. That's okay. Breathe. Good. I think we're done with our booty blast. Are you happy? Yeah. But hey, you're gonna look great. You're gonna have a nice peach.
We'll see.
Okay, turn over to the other side. If you do, will you write me testimonials?
I'll write you a testimonial either way, Jenny.
Okay. Oh my God, thank you. Okay, so lining up the same way here. Shoulders stacked, hips stacked. Your shoulders can come a little further back, Bianca. Keep your hips where they are. There you go. So they're in one long straight line. Both feet come forward, hand on the mat in front of you, hand underneath your head, or laying down flat. Flex the foot on top and think it's longer than the bottom, and then lift it all the way up and close it all the way down. It goes up high, it comes down, leading from the inner thigh. You can even have that little inner thigh squeeze as they come together at the bottom. Get those adductors working. That's it. You have 3 more times. Big up and down. Try to go deeper into those abs. Let that hip relax. Just ask it to calm down. Last 1. Lift the leg up. You have a big circle. As big as can be while keeping your hips nice and stable. That's it for 3. And 2. And 1, and then reverse. Good. Keeping those hips nice and strong from the core, leaving the abdominals hugging together. Last 2. And 1. Lower the leg down. Take a breath. Point the toe. We went into our hot potato here right now, right? Tap, tap, front, tap, tap, back. Making a big rainbow as you move the leg over. Tap, 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 up, tap, tap. 1 more time. Front and back. Good. Lower the leg down. Pilates stance the feet. Both feet lift up and you beat the inner thigh for 8, 7, 6. Pull your belly in. 3 and 2 and 1. Lower your legs down. Take a breath. Turn onto your back. We stretch the other leg in figure 4. So really stretching out that glute. Working leg over the opposite leg, hugging the knee into the chest if that felt good on the other side, or just staying there in that crossover stretch, whatever feels good for you. Breathing into the booty, into the pelvic floor, filling up your body like a balloon. Air goes all the way down to the bottom first. It fills from the bottom up. And then that's the same way it could come out of the body too. If it doesn't really, but we can have that image of like the air comes out from the bottom so that it's like squeezing toothpaste. Good. 1 more breath just like that. Beautiful. Uncross your legs. Start with your legs bent into your chest. We go for our teaser. Arms straight up to the ceiling. And then send your legs to a high 45 or leave them in tabletop if that's what's in you today. Curl your head, neck, and shoulders up, and you're in your teaser. You stop behind your sits bones. You're still tucking your pelvis, reaching for your toes. Breathing here. Open your chest a little bit more, Bianca. That's it. Take one more breath here. On your exhale, melt your spine down. Keep your legs where they are. When your shoulders touch, you bend your knees in. Good. Rock your hips side to side. Beautiful. Send your legs long on the mat if you want to go for a teaser 2. Otherwise, stay where you were. So if you're staying where you were, your legs go out. They stay there. You roll up to the legs. Otherwise, legs go long, arms go up to the ceiling. Inhale here. And then on your exhale, you're going to lift your legs and your upper body to meet together in the high V at the same time. Inhale, exhale, lift and hold, reaching for those toes, keeping that chest tall and proud, but keeping the ribs and belly shut. And you're really, really reaching for those toes with those fingertips. Good. Now on your way down, I want you to reach for your toes the whole time. Imagine I'm punching you in the stomach so you start to go down, but you're reaching, reaching, reaching. Lower your feet at the same time. Try to get your shoulders and your feet to touch together. Take a breath. Good. Bend your knees in, rock your hips side to side. So this time we're going to do a leg lower and lift and an arm lower and lift combo. So we're going to stay up a little longer. You can come up whichever way you choose, either legs long and curl up or legs long on the mat. Both pieces come up together. Take a nice big deep breath. This is your last teaser of the day. Exhale, come up into your teaser the way you choose. Good. Now once you find your balance, lower both legs down together a couple of inches and lift them back up. Use those abs. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. One more time down and up. Then leave the legs still. Arms go down and they come up as high as they can. As low as you can, as high as they can. One more time. Down and up. Now reach for those toes and take the same control and precision melting down that you did before. Fingers are reaching for the toes the whole time. Heels and shoulders touch together. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Bring your hands behind your thighs, rock up to a seated position. Scoot your butt forward. Let's set up for some seal. So your heels are together, your toes are apart. You take your hands, dive them through your legs, wrap them around your ankle from the outside so it feels like a wrist stretch. Round your spine out and then lift your feet up off the mat, just like you did for rolling like a ball. Click your heels twice. Roll back just to the tips of your shoulder blades. Click your heels there. Come back up. Click, click. Roll back and click, click. Roll up, hover, click, click. Roll back, find levity with the abs, click, click. Come forward, click, click. This is your last one. Back, lift the hips, and then come forward, click, click, hold. Lower your feet down. Good, and then carefully come up to stand. We have one more front support, but instead of front support, let's do serratus push-ups to end. Arms straight up to the ceiling. Heels together, toes apart. Tuck your chin into your chest, around your spine, all the way down. Find your hands on the mat. And then you walk your hands out to your high plank position. Find your hands right underneath your shoulders. Feet are long behind you. Heels together, toes apart. Bring your forearms down onto the mat. Make a fist with one hand, wrap the other hand around it. And then you're in your perfect plank here. It's beautiful. And then squeeze your shoulder blades together as your chest lowers to the mat and then lift it way back up, pressing the shoulder blades apart. Good. So you see how Bianca's whole body goes down and whole body comes up? That's beautiful and perfect. You have 4 more, I know. Keep breathing. 3 and 2. 1 more. Good. Pike your hips up to the ceiling. Bring your hands onto the mat. Can you come into a down dog here? And you're in a down dog. Take a breath. Breathe, 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 breathe. So we started with, we're going to do 2 more things. We started with our footwork on the mat today. I want to end with like running on the mat. So I like to separate my heels so that you're in this down dog parallel position. Your heels lift up. And then you're going to start to tread your heels, but not like a yoga tread. You're going to go fast. You're going to make it a little prance. And try to keep your hips still, so that those legs move and your abdominals are controlling those hips. They're not really rocking back and forth. The legs just go. Drop your gaze, Bianca. You have 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, and 1. Bring your heels still. Reach your heels towards the mat. Walk your hands back to your feet. Hang here for a breath. On your exhale, tuck your pelvis, bend your knees, roll all the way up up through the spine like you're doing a roll up on the ground. Good. And then if we were on the reformer, come down, we would end with pelvic lift as well. I'm not sure how exactly to translate that with the exception of maybe a squat. So we're gonna do a little squat here. So legs separate to the corners of the mat and your feet are parallel. Arms come up right by the ears. First, you're gonna hinge your body forward as your booty goes back. There you go, and you're gonna hold here. Your legs, your hips should be right in line about with your knees or an inch or so above them. And you're breathing and you're wrapping the abdominals and drawing the shoulders down your back. One more breath on the exhale. Use the exhale to propel yourself all the way back up. Take a breath in. And then exhale. On your next inhale, sit all the way back down. You hinge as the booty goes back and your knees bend. That's it. And you hold here, wrapping the abdominals. Think about opening the sits bones wide behind you to engage the booty even more with those hips. Good. Take one more breath. On your exhale, stand all the way up. And we have one more just like that. Inhale, exhale, but you're gonna come down on your next inhale. Inhale, hinge, and your butt comes back. And you hold for 3 breaths. 1 in, 1 out. 2 in, 2 out. On your next exhale, you stand up. Inhale, exhale, propel yourself up. Press your arms down, grow taller, and you're all done for today. Woo! Happy Sunday! We did it, we did it, we did it. We're ready for the weekend. We did it. Thank you for watching us. We're insane. Have a great night.